Good afternoon, traders. It's Bill Baruch with Blue Line Futures, and this is the FX Rundown. Fed Chair Powell released his statement today, and the markets responded immediately. This came out before his press conference. Now, he's saying that the interest rates are just below neutral right now. This is not a complete 180, but it is a different tone than what we heard about a month ago, where he said we're a long way from neutral. And markets, again, they responded. The dollar is lower on the session, leaving a good tail, a lower high than we saw a couple weeks ago. Right now, you have some support just below the market. Now, back a couple weeks ago when the dollar index was responding from 96 low, we talked about a trend line. That was our support. That trend line now comes in just below the market, so watch that. But you also have support back at that 96 level. At that time when it was there before, that trend line as well as a big retracement all kept the market in check from lower levels, but you also have to watch a lot of support, just 96, even down to 95.5. So it's going to be a tough one for the dollar really to roll over, but there's a good development here in the fact that it's leaving another tail against the highs and actually a lower high. Same thing on the side of the euro, but flipped around. You're seeing a higher low in the euro, some good momentum moving up, but you have resistance. Now, the big level you want to watch out is right around 115. It's a big area around that 115. You know, we put it on the FX Rundown last night in our FX Rundown report. But even above that, you have the 50-day moving average slowly moving in. So again, you got a momentum in the euro. It's about a penny from the session low. We should see this thing try and push higher, but it is going to face some resistance on that way up. Tomorrow we have Mario Draghi speaking early. You have inflation data regionally coming out of Europe, and then you have PCE. It's the Fed's preferred inflation indicator coming out at 7:30 a.m. Central Time. This is going to be key as we start to talk about inflation heading into that December meeting and a follow-up to what Fed Chair Powell said today. Now, though he did talk today, it doesn't really take away much, but it does dim just a bit the Fed minutes that are due out at 1 p.m. Central Time tomorrow. On top of that, we have pending home sales. Also, new home sales missed. Housing data overall has been sort of soft. I mean, it's unarguable. But what we do say is, you know, look at the Fed. They are starting to turn that from that hawkish, we've referred to it as holes in their hawkish armor. But housing is in effect with that. I mean, they're worried about the growth that we're going to see in the first quarter, where they're worried about the dissipating tailwinds from policy reforms we've seen this year, and they're worried about the trade war and what we're going to see from that the summit this weekend. So all of this is going to play into the market. And again, if you could hear comments ahead of this meeting over the weekend, and that could bring a safe haven move in the dollar. So stay nimble in what you're doing and what you're trading. Moving on, really, the Aussie dollar, as you know, has been a focus of ours. It's really the only one that we've been bullish in. But now you can say that we are upbeat on the euro. I wouldn't say we're outright bullish by any means, but there is a path of least resistance at least over the next 24 hours higher in the euro. But the Aussie is one that we have been very upbeat on, very constructive path. And right now it's closing at major 3-star resistance. It's a level it got out above when it last was here a couple weeks ago, but it failed. So watch this area. We've been talking about 72 to 72.40 as the buy zone. We have major 3-star support below there in the Aussie, and it's held. Very constructive session. We'd like to see this thing push up and get us that breakout from what's been a very constructive groundwork over the past month and a half. From there, though, you do have data tonight coming out of Australia, so keep your ear to the ground. And then just to touch on again, crude oil closed on the low of the day, and that's dragged the Canadian. The Canadian did not perform. There are a lot of factors here at work holding the Canadian dollar back. We really prefer, if you're looking for a risk-on sort of trade in the currencies against the dollar, as well as favorable to commodities, that Aussie, we really prefer that over the Canadian. Give us a call. We're here to talk about anything on the board. 312-278-0500. You can email us info@bluelinefutures.com. You can check our website for updates, and you can sign up for a free trial of our research there. But remember, futures trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Thank you.